Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I, Ume Iman, once again welcome you all to my YouTube channel Anatomy by Iman PT. सबसे पहले तो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को क्लिक करें ताकि फर्दर इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस आपके पास आती रहें और एनाटमी से रिलेटेड आप नॉलेज गेन करते रहें. I have mentioned in my previous lectures that anatomy is studied in the subdivisions, and the first subdivision was general anatomy. I have delivered the few lectures on general anatomy as well, but from today we will start the series of regional anatomy or gross anatomy. In regional anatomy, I have mentioned in previous lectures, we studied the regions like upper limb, lower limb, head and neck, thorax, abdomen, pelvis, perineum. These are the regions of gross anatomy. The first ever topic of the regional anatomy is upper limb, which is studied in the first semester of medical studies. What is the upper limb? The upper limb is organized into shoulder region, the arm, the cubital fossa, the forearm, wrist, and hand. So, upper limb is actually the collectively name of shoulder, arm, cubital fossa, or the depression between the arm and forearm, the forearm, wrist, and hand. These collectively are called upper limb. Upper limb, which is consist of shoulder, arm, cubital fossa, forearm, wrist, and hand. These collectively are called upper limb. Let's move towards the first topic, that is the osteology of upper limb. As I have mentioned in my previous lectures, that osteology is what? The study of bones. Study of bones is called osteology. In upper limb, there are 8 type of bones present in our upper limb. First bone is clavicle, scapula, humerus, ulna, radius, carpal bones, which are the wrist bones, metacarpal bones, and phalanx. These 8 type of bones are present in the upper limb. Among them, there is one clavicle on each side, one scapula on each side, one humerus on each side, one ulna on each side, one radius on each side, while 8 carpal bones on each side, 5 metacarpal bone on each side, and 14 phalanx on each side. I hope the bones of the upper limb are clear to you. Now let's move to study each bone separately. Now you can see in the video that these are all the bones of 8 type of bones of upper limb. The first ever bone that upper limb is clavicle, and then scapula, then humerus, radius, this is radius, and this is ulna, and these are the carpal bones, and 5 phalanges, sorry, 5 metacarpal and 14 phalanx or finger bones. So basically these are the types of bones of the upper limb. Now let's study each bone separately. Now first ever bone, that is clavicle. Let's go through the clavicle and attachment of the clavicle, how the clavicle is located, and how many joints clavicle form with other bones. Now you can see in this video that clavicle, which is also called the collarbone, that is located between the two bones. The first bone is sternum and second bone is scapula. The sternum, which articulates with the clavicle medially, and scapula that articulates with the clavicle laterally. So the clavicle is present between these bones. Now you can see when the sternum is articulate with the clavicle at this point, this form a small joint that is called sternoclavicular joint. When the sternum articulates with the clavicle at medial aspect, this is called the sternoclavicular joint. While the clavicle articulates laterally with the scapula at the acromion process, that is called acromioclavicular joint. So basically clavicle forms two joints, medially with the sternum, sternoclavicular joint, and laterally with the scapula, acromioclavicular joint. Now let's talk about the first bone, that is clavicle. Clavicle, that is also known as the collarbone or beauty bone, consists of S-like shaft. Now you can see clearly in this picture or in this video. To First of all, I need to tell you that to study the bones, you need to hold the bone in anatomical position. What is the anatomical position of the bone? The anatomical position of the bone is the position in which it is held naturally in anatomical position. Now let's talk about the clavicle. The clavicle is a bone that is located between the sternum and scapula. This is a bone that is present between sternum. From this side of the bone, that is there is another bone that is called sternum, and from this side of the bone, that is the lateral end of the bone, there is another bone that is articulated in this side of the bone, that is called scapula. So in this side of the bone, articulated bone with this side is scapula, and articulated bone from this medial side is sternum. So this is a clavicle that is consist of two ends, medial end and lateral end. Lateral end is called sternal end, sorry, acromial end. Lateral end is called acromial end, that is this end, because it articulates with the acromion process of scapula. So that end is called, this end is called acromial end, while this end, that is the medial end of the bone, it is called sternal end, because it articulates with the sternum, that is called sternal end. Now you can see the bone, uh, this clavicular bone, that is S shaped. Basically you can see the shape of this bone, that is S shaped, while this convex part of the bone that is present medially, it faces anteriorly. Anterior of the bone that is convex faces medially, while the concave part of the bone faces anteriorly in lateral end of the bone. Lateral end of the bone that is concave faces laterally, while convex part of the bone that is present medially. So clavicle bone is the bone that connects the upper limb with the thorax, because this is a bone that is present between the sternum from medial side and the uh, scapula on the lateral aspect. So the medial side of this bone, it is called sternal extremity, while the lateral side of the bone, that is called acromial extremity. Sternal extremity, acromial extremity. I think you are clear up to this. Now there is an elevation at this acromial end, interior part of this acromial end. There is an elevation that is called conoid tubercle. Now what is the conoid tubercle? It serves as the attachment for the ligament that is called conoid ligament. I repeat, that is the collarbone or clavicle that articulates at medial end with the sternum at sternal notch, while it articulates with the acromion process of scapula at its lateral end. And at its lateral end, at its inferior surface, there is a tubercle that is called conoid tubercle. It serves as the attachment for conoid ligament. The clavicle that is convex anteriorly at its medial side and concave anteriorly at its lateral aspect. Now let's move towards another bone, that is scapula. Scapula, that is a shoulder bone, large flat triangular bone that lies on the posterior chest wall between second and seventh ribs. It articulates with the acromial extremity of the clavicle and the head of humerus. Now let's see the scapula and its articulation. Scapula, that is a triangular bone. It has two articulation with bones. First articulation is with the clavicle. At this point, this is called acromioclavicular joint, while second articulation is with the humerus. At this point, this is called the shoulder joint. Now let's see the borders and surfaces and angles of the scapula. Now let's talk about the scapula, that is the shoulder blade. The bone, whose shape is triangular bone, has three borders, medial, lateral and superior. Now you can see this, the scapula is anatomically placed in this position. That is its lateral border, that is its medial border, and that is its superior border. And it has three angles: superior angle, inferior angle, and that is lateral angle. And it has two surfaces, that is posterior or dorsal surface or posterior surface, that is the posterior surface of scapula, and another surface is costal surface or anterior surface. Costal surface, and that is dorsal surface. Superior border, medial border, lateral border. Superior angle, inferior angle, lateral angle. I hope you are clear. Now let's talk about the details of these borders and surfaces. Now at the superior border, at the base of coracoid process, there is a depression or notch that is called scapular notch. The depression that is present at the base of coracoid, this hook-like projection is, I already told you, that is a coracoid process. In its base there is a depression that is called scapular notch. So superior border has a notch that is called scapular notch, and there is a ligament that is called superior transverse scapular ligament that bridges this notch, just like this. I can tell you like this. This bridges, like this ligament bridges the notch, superior transverse scapular ligament. Suprascapular artery passes above this ligament, and suprascapular nerve passes below this ligament. We can say like this: the army goes over the bridge and the navy goes under the bridge. In this sentence, the army, that is artery, which goes above the tunnel or above the bridge, and navy is nerve, suprascapular nerve, that goes inside or inferior to the ligament or through the tunnel. I hope you are clear. Now that's the medial scapular border, that is close to the vertebral column, and the lateral border is slightly thickened, that is very closest to the axilla. So this part, that is closely related to the axilla. Now let's talk about the angles of scapula. The junction that is present between superior border and medial border, that angle is called superior angle. I have already told you about this. Junction of superior and medial border, that is superior angle. The junction of medial and lateral border and medial border, इन दोनों के बीच में ये जो जंक्शन आ रहा है, इसको हम inferior angle कहते हैं. While the junction of lateral and superior border, that is called lateral angle. Now at this point I will tell you a very important point, that is the inferior angle of the scapula. The inferior angle of scapula can be palpated at the easily in the living subject, and this marks this point at inferior angle. There is a 2 points to be remembered, and these are the seventh rib and the spine of seventh thoracic vertebra. Now let's talk about the lateral angle of the scapula. The lateral angle of the scapula is slightly thickened. You can see this part is thick. This thick part, it is also called the head of the scapula. While the head is slightly constricted at this point. This whole is head. We can say this is whole head. And now the head is constricted at this part, that is called the neck of the scapula. While this part, whole part, is called a body. Head, neck and body of the scapula. Now let's talk about the this head the lateral surface of this part of head, there is a shallow depression that is called glenoid cavity. Basically, this part of bone articulates with the shoulder joint to form glenohumeral joint, or simply shoulder joint. That is shallow depression, that is called glenoid cavity. This hook-like projections above the glenoid cavity is called coracoid process, and posterior to this point is called acromion process. Now you must be confused how this cavity gives the space to the head of the humerus to forms the shoulder joint. Basically, this cavity or this depression is surrounded by a fibrocartilaginous rim. At this surface, it is surrounded by a fibrocartilaginous rim. It is called glenoid labrum. So glenoid labrum provides the joint with deep cavity, so the head of the humerus is fixed at this point. At the apex of this glenoid cavity, there is a sharp pointed elevation that is called supraglenoid tubercle, while the inferior or base of this cavity, there is also a sharp pointed surface, rough surface, that is called infraglenoid tubercle. Supraglenoid tubercle, infraglenoid tubercle, and that is glenoid fossa or glenoid cavity. That is all about the head of the scapula. Now let's talk about the posterior surface or dorsal surface of the scapula. The dorsal surface of scapula is divided into two surfaces, the inferior surface and superior surface, by this sharp pointed ridge that is called the spine of scapula. This sharp pointed ridge divides the posterior surface of scapula into superior and inferior parts. Superior part is suprascapular fossa and inferior part is infrascapular fossa. Spine of scapula, suprascapular fossa and infrascapular fossa. Fossa means cavity. Now this sharp point runs at lateral side to forms the acromion process. So this sharp elevation, which is called the spine of scapula, runs laterally to forms the acromion process. We have already talked about this acromion process. This acromion process basically articulates with the clavicle and forms the acromioclavicular joint. The lateral border runs superiorly and blend with the neck of scapula and forms this notch that is called greater scapular notch or spinoglenoid. Now this passageway provides the area of this area provides the passage for some nerves, that is suprascapular nerve, and vessels pass through this passage. About the anterior surface of scapula, there's a shallow concavity. You can see like this. This is a shallow concavity that is called subscapular fossa. Subscapular fossa, at the superior aspect of subscapular fossa, there is a hook-like projection I have already mentioned, that is called coracoid process. So now I am giving a short review. This scapula, that is also called the shoulder blade, has three borders: superior border, medial border, and lateral border. And three angles is superior angle, inferior angle, and lateral angle. And it has two surfaces: anterior surface, that is also called costal surface, and this posterior surface, that is called dorsal surface. Now let's talk about the superior border of the scapula. There is a notch or depression that is called suprascapular notch. And suprascapular notch, it is bridges by a ligament that is called superior transverse
scapular ligament. It bridges like this, and above this ligament, the artery run that is called suprascapular artery, and below the nerve passes through this tunnel that is called suprascapular nerve, and it has a medial border and it has a lateral border. The junction of superior and medial border, that is a junction present between superior and medial border, that is called superior angle. The junction that is present between this medial and lateral border, that is this junction is called inferior angle, and this is called superior lateral angle. This is while let's talk about the parts of the scapula. That's broad lateral part of scapula, that is called the head of scapula. Well, the head is converged to a narrow side or narrow aspect, that is called the neck of the scapula, and this part of scapula, that is called the body of the scapula. Now let's talk about the head of the scapula. In head of scapula, there is a on at the lateral surface there is a shallow elevation, that is called glenoid cavity. At the superior aspect of glenoid cavity, there is a tubercle, that is called supraglenoid tubercle, and the inferior aspect of this cavity or glenoid fossa, that is called inferior glenoid tubercle. While the lateral border, that is merged with the neck at this aspect, that runs posteriorly, that this is called spinoglenoid or greater scapular notch. Some arteries, veins or vessels pass through this notch. Now let's talk about the surfaces of scapula. That anterior surface or costal surface has a shallow depression, that is called the subscapular fossa. And while talk about the posterior surface, that posterior surface is divided into superior and inferior aspect by a sharp elevation that runs from medial aspect to the lateral aspect, that is called the spine of scapula. Above the spine of scapula, there is a depression, that is called uh, suprascapular fossa, and below the spine there is a depression, that is called infrascapular fossa. While this sharp elevation runs laterally and forms the pointed edge, that is called the acromion process. This acromion process articulates with the clavicle to form the acromioclavicular joint. While as the anterior surface, there is superior in this superior aspect, there is a hook-like projection, that is called coracoid process. Coracoid process does not have articulation with any bone, but it only provide attachment for the ligaments.
That is all about the clavicle and scapula. Stay tuned with us because we are going to upload further lectures on remaining bone, and the next lecture will be on the humerus bone. Stay tuned with us. Do like, comment, and subscribe. If you like the video, please share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz. Have a good day.